Hello everyone, we are back and welcome back for everyone joining us live for another crypto live stream. Thank you for tuning in if you are watching this live, and thank you for everyone who has been recently subscribing. I do suspect that this live will be a little bit quieter than normal because, the market sentiment is it's in the bin, isn't it? So most people's heads are sorry, my phone just went on there and the volume's up pretty high. So yeah, most people are a bit falling away from crypto, shall we say, for the wrong reasons. Because it's a little bit quieter than normal, then we are seeing some participants drop off a little bit, forgetting to check their phone, maybe not checking their portfolio as much, maybe not keeping up to date as much. But those are the types of people who fail. And if you are one of those people, you're going to fail. You're not going to make it, as they say. But on a lighter note, we shall move on with tonight's live stream. This one will probably be a little bit shorter than our norm, simply because, well, there's not a lot going on in the market with news. So I obviously, on a Wednesday, cover as much news as possible, or at least which news I think is relatively interesting. So I do have a bit to cover regarding a bit of inflation in the UK. As we have posted, inflation's up at 9%, which is a 40-year high in the UK. So I'll cover a little bit about that. Cover some tweets that I've seen over the past few days. I'm also going to cover the US dollar index, so the DXY, and read a few things about that. So stay tuned, loads to come. As much as the market can be boring, I will bring as much hype and energy to this live stream as possible. Let you chill out for the next kind of 30 minutes to 40 minutes, I would imagine this will last. And yeah, please do drop any questions that you have in the live chat. Please also don't forget to like this stream, as it is a public stream. The likes do help very, very much, so I do appreciate that if you could do it right now. Other than that, my name's Don. I'm part of the live stream team at CG. I'm here on a Wednesday, almost every Wednesday, to make, well, I would only go live on a Wednesday if there's enough news to cover. So sometimes if I do skip a Wednesday, it's simply because there's just no point in wasting your time and covering some boring news articles. I do like to make sure that I'm bringing some sort of useful topics to cover. So please make sure that you first of all subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, which you'll see in front of you. I have subscribed, of course, but also turn on the post notifications and make sure it says all, because I do believe that sometimes it will be personalised and it won't automatically show you every single video that we post. So make sure you've subscribed, click the bell icon, click all, and then we're good to go. You'll get this here saying you'll get all notifications. And for anyone that has recently joined us or has maybe joined us due to this video right here in the left hand corner, this is our latest upload, which is a day in the life of a crypto investor in 2022, which was filmed with me and Deck, the founder and owner of CG, as we made a quick trip down to London a few weeks ago to visit SwissBorg and visit a bit of a kind of coin bureau event as well. So make sure you're checking out that video if you are interested in what we actually do, other than show up on a screen on a Wednesday or post videos every other day, or even what it's like behind the Discord. What do we do? How do we run the Discord? Then please make sure you check this out, because I'm sure someone will find it interesting, because it's quite a good video. So check it out. Okay, cool. Enough of that. Let's move on to today's video. Coin stats. Let's bring up the prices first. As we always do, we like to speak about the prices and see what things are looking like. Let me just refresh that and let's have a look. So, refreshing the story. Crypto is looking much as it has been the past 2 weeks. Bitcoin, for anyone that's not watching this screen, so if you are out listening to this on your AirPods, or if you're in the car or whatever it may be, out walking the dog, then I'm just about to cover off the top 10 on coin stats, and we shall see what the prices are looking like, has much moved, and where do I think things are going, because that's probably the most important question that I'm sure most of you will be shouting at your screen right now. Okay, so market cap first of all. How's the market cap looking? So currently sitting at 1.343 trillion. It's up 1% for the day, which is fantastic. So the main thing is it's not red, isn't it? The volume, however, is down quite a bit. The volume in the past 24 hours is down 13%. This isn't a huge deal, to be honest. It just shows that the past 24 hours, people haven't really been doing much in terms of transacting, whether it's buying and selling or anything, and the prices really haven't been moving that much. The Bitcoin dominance, again, not even up by a percentage. It's up 0.85%. Currently sitting at 42.5% for the dominance. I'm going to just bring up that dominance chart actually, because over the past month you have seen a slight, sorry, that's market cap. What am I doing? Why is it not giving me both? Oh, that's both of them, right? Okay, my bad. So yeah, over the past 1 month that was market cap. Over the past month that's dominance. So we have seen a slight increase rather in the dominance, and that's because, well, most people are getting quite worried in terms of how alts are looking against Bitcoin. Bitcoin's obviously been kind of up and down across that $27,500 to the kind of $30,000 mark, and it's just been playing in that space. So not much really has happened the past month, like percentage wise, other than this slight increase when we've seen the prices kind of, well, people panic and rush to Bitcoin because there's less down percentage in Bitcoin than there is in altcoins, so people think that they're safer with some Bitcoin, therefore you'll see the kind of slight increase in dominance. Overall though, not a great deal. Going back to the market cap then, so over the past month we have seen it come down quite significantly, which again is no surprise. We've been watching this kind of slowly but surely kind of dwindle away over the past month, and yeah, again, you've seen that, like I said at the opening of this video, a lot of people in the market are also doing very much the same. Actually, if you were to chart some people's mindsets in crypto and their consistency in crypto, it would look something very, very similar to how the market cap looks. So if only we could do that. Okay, so yes, top 10 then. Bitcoin currently sitting at 29,900, up 1.7% for the day. Ethereum sitting at 1,974, up 0.5% for the day. BNB sitting at $328.64, just 1.79% for the day. And XRP sitting at 40 cents, up, 0.13%, hardly much. Same goes with Cardano. It's up 0.65%, sitting at 51 cents. Solana actually down 1.5%, sitting at $48. And then Polkadot is down 1.25%, sitting at $9.94. Now, one thing you will notice is stablecoins in the top 10. Normally, on kind of any normal, should we say, or normal, can you call crypto normal? But in a normal day in crypto, it's normally, count how many times I said normal or normally there, it's just two stablecoins, USDT and USDC. And again, for anyone that is watching this live stream and is a member of our Discord and has been for a while, we've for years covered that when we do see a bit of a market pullback or a market crash, however you want to word it, we tend to see stablecoins in the green, and stablecoins perform a bit better than $1 kind of thing, which is normal. And especially when now the markets are really down from kind of all-time highs, if you like, or even the past month, I guess, then you're starting to see like BUSD, which is a stablecoin, creep up into the top 10. Like I said, normally it's Tether and USDC, and these kind of switch around in place. They're normally third, but USDC can kind of switch around in place. But yeah, BUSD, which is Binance's stablecoin, is now kind of holding its place in the top 10. So yeah, interesting to see, although it's also expected, because people are, rather than holding crypto, which is highly volatile, they're holding stablecoins, which are not highly volatile. Well, unless it's anything to do with Terra or Terra Luna, which was the fiasco we've seen in the past few weeks. But USDC is a bit different and USDT is a bit different. Same goes with BUSD as well. Okay, so that's the top 10. That's kind of how things are looking at the moment. Obviously, the last kind of time we spoke on this live stream was the chaos of Terra Luna and UST going down, and they're dead, pretty much dead now. I don't know. Let's just have a look actually at Luna. What's it looking at now? So it's actually up 20% on the day, which is quite funny. Let's look at it over the week. In fact, let's do it over the month. So yeah, like we've seen the past month, it's down 100%. But yeah, not doing much. But I mean, technically it's up 20% today, which is great, I suppose. The project is pretty much dead though. I can't see that coming back at any point very soon, or even any point in the next few years, because again, as I mentioned in the last stream, I believe that all trust has kind of gone for the project and the owner of the project. So yes, interesting to say the least. Okay, let me bring up the DXY stuff that I wanted to speak about. In fact, I'll bring up the chart first of all, and then I will bring up the document in just a sec. I do need to just grab it from my home screen and read a little bit about the DXY, which has always been a bit of a hot topic when it comes to crypto, and I'll explain why in just one sec. Okay, so DXY, it was this one. So I've just screenshotted a part here from the members Discord. What have I done here? There we go. Just to make it a bit easier, just so I can read it in larger print for everyone to see. But we posted this yesterday to the to the Discord regarding the DXY. So for anyone that's not a member, we have a members Discord platform which runs on a monthly subscription basis. There's two types of subscriptions. It's one called Premium and one called Premium Plus. Each have their benefits and slightly different benefits. If you are interested in finding a little bit more of information of what the hell I'm talking about, please make sure you check the links in the bottom of this video, and it will take you directly to the website, which will give you a bit more information. But this is one of the extracts, like I said, that we posted to our members yesterday about the DXY. So the dollar strength has been one of the most important macro factors driving asset prices over the last 6 months, alongside inflation and geopolitical uncertainties, to name a few. Aside from the last 8 days, during which the DXY has decided to take a breather, it has been truly up only for the DXY. The DXY was 95 when the 22 calendar year began, and it has since risen to around 105, and that's obviously dollar, notching an 8.5% gain year to date. This move has also been the fastest year-on-year change in many years, leading to the DXY breaking out of its 7-year range. We have mentioned previously that BTC and the crypto market moves in the opposite direction of the DXY. Search DXY and take a look at the 2017-2018 bull run. The DXY was falling and the crypto market was booming. Seeing the DXY falling like this, that's a misprint. Catching myself out here. So seeing the DXY falling like this and knowing that there is a lot of room for a fall means that the crypto market does in fact have another reason to run once we have a reason and the bottom forms. So that's our opinion on the DXY. That's a little bit of kind of background on the DXY, and just to show you that chart again, the last time we spoke on this live stream, the DXY was sitting up at the kind of 103, 104, so it was around about here, at a kind of not an all-time high, but a 7-year high, shall we say, or breaking out of a 7-year downtrend anyway. So it's interesting to see. The DXY does tend to, as we mentioned, make crypto go down if it's rallying, and vice versa. If it is coming down, then crypto usually, based on history, usually has a good performance. So let's be hopeful. Let's hope that that does happen and it happens again as we start to see this decline over the next, next week, next month, whatever it may be. Let's just see, or let's just hope rather, that we can see a decline in the price. So that was the DXY stuff. There was another part I will cover. In fact, let me just move this over and grab that. It was about Amazon, which I think is quite interesting. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. You've seen the behind the scenes here. Hang on. There we go. It was a market update and regarding Amazon, which I'll bring up the chart as well. Put that there, and we'll put this a little bit larger just so everyone can read it. So this again was posted to our members yesterday regarding the markets and a little bit about Amazon, a little bit of a kind of history lesson, shall we say, on Amazon, which I will show you the chart, which all ties in with what I'm about to say in just a second. So, reading from the top then, we are also seeing continued weakness in the economic data which is coming for the US, which signals that the economy is weak and cannot handle the increasing QT, which is quantitative, the increasing QE. Recently, we have also seen the top supermarket chains, so this is the US obviously, Target, Walmart and even Amazon have crashed very heavily. This indicates a decrease in spending and pressure created from increasing prices. In fact, Amazon has now even pulled back completely to pre-COVID prices. This means that the entire 2020-2021 bull market has been erased, as it has never actually happened. So, if you were in Amazon and you bought in early 2020 and didn't cash out, then the past 2 years almost has been a waste of time. All the money the Fed printed, it never happened at all, basically. So, how much lower can it go? Is Amazon going to continue to suffer and struggle as a business? We can't be sure, of course. However, we are seeing all the signs of a crash, which has happened already. So how low can you go? So Amazon is obviously like one of the largest companies in the world. So will the business itself crash? It's obviously hard to believe. However, it doesn't mean that it's too big to crash, or at least too big to have a minor correction or a massive correction, which it looks to be kind of doing, as it has wiped out the past 2 years of gains. Now, this could also be based on the fact that in 2020 and 2021, because there was a lockdown, most people, even yourselves watching this, will have turned to Amazon rather than going to the shops. Well, not rather than going to the shops, but you had no choice because the shops were closed. Amazon wasn't closed. Therefore, that's where we've seen obviously a large portion of this has come from, first of all, money printing, because people are getting money for essentially free in some instances for these kind of these checks from the government and stuff. But also, more people were sitting at home bored, so therefore they were spending more of their money on Amazon. Therefore, you're seeing that could be why we've seen this massive price increase over the past 2 years. The crash yesterday, so this would have been 2 days ago, which we have mentioned for Walmart and Target, is actually the largest single day crash since 1987. The Black Monday crash. Again, sorry, there's a few words or letters that missed out here. The whole market is that volatile that even suppliers are now falling 24% in a single trading day. That's volatility we only see in crypto markets, and that's so true because the past kind of week or so we've seen the stock market fall 20% plus, or 24% to be exact, and that's technically classed as a bear market in kind of stock terms. So we are seeing 24% crashes in a single day, which is absolutely not normal for the conventional markets. That's 100% normal for crypto, but it's not normal for the conventional stocks. So very interesting to see. Now, 70% of the US GDP come from consumption. So seeing these brands struggle indicates that the US GDP is slowing, which means the Fed may have to take the foot off the gas pedal. It's also important to know that a lot of inflation has come from the supply side issues, such as the tariffs which Trump has placed on China and the Ukraine war. So we could see the US government lift tariffs to try ease inflation from the other side too. But will we see that happen with Joe Biden at the wheel? It's one I'll let you answer for yourself. But here's the Amazon chart then. So this is obviously dating back. Here's kind of the COVID crash, if you like, and the kind of V bottom out. And here's the course of the past 2 years. And as you see, we're back down to pretty much as, well, just before the crash, of course, it kind of got above that. But as we've seen this crash, we are now back to these figures. So Interesting to see. Now, if you do want to listen to a bit more of technical side of things, because tonight's video is not about technical as such, we do that on a Thursday night live stream. So please tune back in for the Thursday night, or even on the Monday night market update as well, if you are interested in hearing more about technicals. So let's see, what else do we have here to cover then? We're going to talk a little bit about the UK inflation, because we also focus quite a lot on the US. However, majority of the audience will be based in the UK. So let's open up this report and then I'll move on to the next report regarding inflation as well. So, UK inflation hits a 40-year high. Did you expect it? I mean, or were you not expecting it rather? Or were you expecting it? Because, I mean, it says 9%, but we all know it's a lot higher than that. The real life percentage is a lot higher than that. However, the CPI figures do come out at 9%, which is still a record high. So either way you look at it, it's not great for the UK. I've got a question here actually. I'll address this question first, so I don't kind of lose my place. But the question is, I have read that many don't anticipate Bitcoin making new highs until 2024. What are your views on that? So good question. We have, I guess, touched on this subject quite a few times in the past, and even on our podcast that we done about 3 months ago maybe, with Cambro Conversations. Check that out on YouTube and on Spotify, and also Apple Music if you are an Apple Music user. Cambro Conversations, we posted, like I said, 2-3 months ago, and we spoke a little bit about how Bitcoin and Ethereum is performing and what we expect Bitcoin to do. But to answer your question on this stream, no, I'm under the same impression. I don't think Bitcoin is set to make new record highs this year. I believe 69,000 was the top. We had 64,000, then we come back and hit 69,000. And for me personally, I say that yes, that was our top this year. Don't get me wrong, there's so many people that still, well, they're starting to fade away now, but there's many people that still believe that 100k is possible this year, or even 250k, or maybe more. And yeah, like I said, you are starting to see these people get a bit quieter, as Bitcoin really has been doing nothing the past month, 2 months. So yeah, I agree with that. In terms of it being 2024, potentially it would kind of fall in line if the bull cycles and bear cycles are to be respected in their kind of time periods. Then 2024 will probably fall in line with the next big cycle, or the next big kind of pump in the kind of market cycle, especially with the halving and stuff coming out, the Bitcoin halving event. So yes, could be 100% possible 2024. But for me, to answer that, I strongly do agree that I don't believe there's going to be another all-time high coming in for Bitcoin. So it won't get above 69,000. That does not mean that it's going to come back up and might get to 50,000, maybe even 58,000. It might get back up to these levels. But yeah, to answer the question, no, I don't believe that there will be an all-time high coming back in this year. Okay, we've also got one here. Who provides the trade setups? You guys miss tons of moves, maybe focus on a few. For new starters, it will also help them to learn the behaviour and technicals of their performance. So we have an in-house team who's been trading for many years, and we don't, I'm guessing from what you're saying is we miss tons of moves in terms of there's not loads of trades getting put out. Is that what you mean? And if that's what you mean, that's actually intended. We don't intend, and we never have intended, to put a lot of trades out. We 100% could put 10 trades out a day, but we're not interested in doing that, and we have made that clear many a times. Again, I'm assuming that's what you mean. But yeah, we don't make a lot of, or post a lot of trades, because one, we don't want to, it's not a trading group, it's not a kind of get rich quick group. It's more of a, make sure that you understand what you're putting on and why we're putting it on. We do also have our members live stream on a Thursday where you can ask more about trading and stuff, where you can speak to one of the guys from the trading team. There's also a market update on the Monday, which slightly covers a little bit about it, but Thursdays are best for that. But in terms of missing loads of moves, am I right in saying that that's what you mean, that there should be more trades? If so, then that's not our intention. Okay, thanks Don. Think they say 2024 as that is the next halving. Yeah, exactly. So that's when we've seen a large kind of increase in 2020, because the Bitcoin halving happened in 2020, and pretty much from then we've seen a kind of upwards movement. And I mean, you think about it, that the Bitcoin halving means that the per day Bitcoin it's produced is halved by 50%. So it only makes sense that halving the amount that's being created, but the demand still being there and demand still being driven, it just comes back to the kind of supply and demand aspect of Bitcoin. So yeah, that's why 2024 is a key date to kind of look for. Okay, I'll come back to the questions in just a sec. Let me go over the inflation stuff. So prices are rising at their fastest rate for 40 years as higher energy bills hit millions of households. The UK inflation, as I've mentioned then, the rate at which the price rises has jumped to 9% in 12 months to April, up from 7% in March. It will probably keep climbing, to be honest. The surge came as millions of people saw an unprecedented £700 a year increase in energy costs last month. Higher fuel and food prices, driven by the Ukraine war apparently, are also pushing the cost of living up, with inflation expected to continue to rise this year. Again, no shock there. Citizens Advice have said the warning lights could not be flashing brighter for the government to offer more support for households, and debt charities urged anyone finding it difficult to pay bills to seek help earlier rather than later in this year. Now, a lot of this is kind of self-explanatory, and most people watching this will be maybe feeling the pinch in terms of especially this, because I know myself, my energy bills are sky high, and of course fuel, if anyone drives, which most of you I assume do, the fuel bills, which we spoke about loads of times, have been pretty much on a 100% increase over the past year, and same with food bills as well. So like takeaways, even stuff in shops and whatnot have all increased. So all this has increased, but people's earnings have not increased, and that's where we're feeling this. Most people are feeling this pinch, especially coming off the back of the pandemic, where people were out of work, maybe lost their jobs, they were relying on kind of the money they had to pay their bills, and now maybe they're not back in work, maybe they're just back to work, or maybe they can't get back to work because of a baby or a family dog or a family emergency, and yet all these things just keep increasing, and they just keep printing more money thinking it will fix it, and it just keeps kind of getting worse almost. But so we've all felt it. We all kind of live day to day, we all pay our bills, we all have households to run, so we're all feeling the exact same, which is not great. So a few main points then from the CPI, so the consumer price inflation. This is from the official kind of national statistics website. Much of what I've probably already covered, however, just to get into the nitty gritty of it, the CPI, including owner-occupiers' housing costs, it rose by 7.8% in the past 12 months, up to April of this year, and that was up 6.2% from March. So again, 1.5% rise in a month. The largest upward contributions to the annual CPIH inflation rate in April of this year came from housing and household services. So again, as I've just mentioned, 2.76 percentage points, principally from electricity, gas and other fuels, and also owner-occupiers' housing costs. Also transport, still obviously fuel and whatnot, that covers fuel and second-hand cars. So the fuel is a way up, the second-hand car market's a way up, pretty much everything is up, as we know, but these are the kind of nitty-gritty numbers that most people that maybe watch the news might not really know what this means, or how it affects them, or what it may, why we even talk about it. But yeah, these are the kind of the reasons we have to speak about them, because they are, well, let's be realistic, everything's up in value, not value, up in price, apart from wages, which is a tough pill to swallow for some people. Yeah, that was all from there. I didn't want to get into too much of it, because like I said, it is quite focused on figures and percentages and the CPI and whatnot, but the main points to take from that is much to what I covered. Electricity's up, gas is up, fuel's up, cars are up, and wages are not. So, moving swiftly on now, I'm going to briefly touch on this because I'm not a huge fan of Coinbase, but I think it's still interesting to speak about it because of Coinbase are like, if you're really new to crypto, then, or even if you're old in crypto, you've used Coinbase at one point. It was usually everyone's starting point. Over the past few years, that's slowly kind of dwindled down, but realistically, if you have been in this for maybe 2+ years, the chances are you use Coinbase to start off with. So, that is big news. Coinbase enters the Fortune 500 list of biggest US companies. It's the first crypto company to join the list, recorded revenue of over 7.8 billion in the fiscal 2021, and it placed in 437th place. Now, like I said, love them or hate them, they are shaping the future, shall we say, of crypto and getting the word out, and they have been doing it since day one. So they are they are kind of the largest, essentially. Not that most people use them anymore, but they're definitely one of the largest, probably behind Binance now actually, but yeah, they're absolutely huge, and I think it's quite interesting to see that they're listed on the Nasdaq, as we all know. That some people feel like that marked the top, because I think it was November they went live. In fact, I might say it on this, it was April, but it was like the top, whatever it was, April was the first, that's what it was, sorry I'm confusing my date. So April was the first time that they went live on the Nasdaq, and around that time, if you remember, is when crypto kind of had its first fall, the kind of April-May time, and people were saying that Coinbase kind of planned it. Coinbase called the top, basically. They sold the top, and what I mean by that is they went live, everyone was still buzzing about crypto, there was still so much money in crypto, so everyone was floating to their stock price rose super high, and it obviously inevitably crashed, and has been crashing pretty much since the market crashed, I guess. So, let's see if there's anything else I want to cover on this. I don't think there really was, to be honest. It was just a case of the fact that it's a crypto company or crypto exchange is in the top 500 companies in the US, which I thought was quite interesting. That's quite an interesting stat, actually. The Fortune 500 represents 2/3 of US gross domestic product, with a revenue of $16.1 trillion. Wouldn't be surprised if it was $161 trillion, but yeah, so a total revenue of 16.1 trillion. That's nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. That wasn't Coinbase, by the way. That was just the collective. Right, let me see if I can refresh this. Some hype beast news for all you hype beast followers in the chat. In fact, let me just come back and see. There's a couple more questions. I'll answer these 2 questions, and then I'll come back and I'll answer, or I'll cover off the hype chat about Balenciaga. Where are we? Neil has asked, are you still confident in your minimum $7 XRP target by end of year? Yes, surprisingly, yes. Again, I know it might sound at this moment that we sound nuts and we sound crazy and we sound delusional, but yeah, again, we haven't changed the sentiment on that figure, so yes, we're holding strong. There's not a great deal of information to go off of with the from the latest in the trial, the SEC versus Ripple trial. However, that will be hopefully a massive spike or a massive turning point in price, because we were hoping, again, everyone that's followed us before, we were hoping that XRP will just make its move when the market makes its move, but the way the market's looking, it's like, when will it make its move? So we were kind of saying that the market will move, XRP will move a little bit, but then once the SEC trial stuff comes to some sort of agreement or closure or whatever it may be, then that will be a kind of boost in price, which will hopefully get us above the kind of $7 to $10 or $12, whatever it may be. But yeah, I sound crazy, say what you want, but yeah, personally I do believe, that it should get back up there. Not back up there, but get up there at some point. But of course, no financial advice, just my strong opinion on what I believe can happen. Okay, thanks for the response. Any reason that there's never been an XRP move. Is it your loyalty? Lol, can't bear to short it. What do you mean there's never been an XRP move? Do you mean move in sentiment, or do you mean move in price? Because the price definitely moves, it just doesn't move as much as others sometimes. But yeah, I guess it is the loyalty to the... Again, the reason, for anyone that's followed us for like 2+ years, then you'll know the reasons why we're in XRP. People hate it because it is quite boring in terms of price action. We're obviously in it for the price action, but we're also in it because we actually enjoy what Ripple and XRP are actually trying to do for crypto. So as much as most people watching this will be maybe relatively new to crypto and they're in it just because you can make money potentially, or people have made money, we've been in this when there wasn't money to be made back in 2018, 2019, when there wasn't any money being made. It was just going down and down and down. We've also been in it when there's money to be made the past 2 years, and we've made a lot of money from it. So it's one of those things, like, we get that people are in this for the money, and then if a coin like XRP, for example, doesn't make them as much money as Cardano or even Shiba or any of these other ones that have popped off and done 200-300% this season, if they compare it to ones like XRP that haven't, they instantly think XRP's trash, man. Nah, not a fan. Why do you like XRP? You're trash. You don't know nothing. It's like, cool, man. Like, you might like different things. That's cool. Like, we enjoy the project itself, and we have done way before this crypto page was a thing. Back when no one really cared about crypto, we cared, and we cared about the underlying asset. So yeah, not to get all kind of preachy, but I guess that helps answer a few questions to why people still think that, why XRP's trash, it's a banker's coin, like, no one likes it, it does nothing, it's going to zero. Like, that's fine, cool, don't invest in it. Like, I don't come and like slaughter any of your projects, which I'm sure you hold some trash bags as well. Not you in particular, obviously, Boss Bravo, but I mean just in general. Some people will hold some trash that they don't speak about. We just happen to speak about coins that other people don't necessarily like as much, therefore we get some heat for it. But look, like I said, you don't enjoy it, we're not forcing you to invest. We're just saying that's what we invest in, because we quite enjoy what the project's doing. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry to preach a little bit, but just wanted to kind of help out a bit. Someone said, I bought $10 worth of Luna. Now they are worth $1,300. Woohoo! Congrats. What should I do? Should I sell or wait for Luna 2.0? I don't know. Why are you asking me? It's your money, man. You've turned $10 into $1,300 by doing nothing. What do you think you should do? Like, I can't advise you. I'm not a financial advisor, unfortunately. I'd love to tell you. I've got something up here what I'd love to say to you, and what I'd love for you to do with that, but look, I can't. It's not allowed. But let's put it that way. You've gave someone $10, right? And within, let's say, a week, because it's probably been about a week, they've given you back $1,300. Like, what more do you want? I would love to give someone $10 and they hand me back $1,300. Hopefully you catch my drift, but I can't advise, unfortunately. How much does that make the market cap be for the coin at $7? Oh, that's... I need to bring up the maths. You're testing me live on stream. Let's go to XRP. Market supply. See if I mess this up when I'm on live. Mark, you're for it. Let's see. Oh, actually, I've just noticed Deck has commented. I think the previous one for someone had asked about XRP. Where was it? Oh yeah, Boss Bravo. Before I went on my rant, I've just noticed Deck has texted me what you actually meant. So you meant about trading. We don't trade XRP because it's so hard to like judge where it's going to go, because it doesn't do anything. It's not worth a trade sometimes. So we've traded it like twice, I think, in the past, and it's done like the opposite. So it's we don't touch XRP when it comes to trading unless we're like super confident or the price is already moving. So if that's what you were meaning, Boss Bravo regarding that, then hopefully that answers it. But yeah, we don't tend to trade against XRP. So Dick said as well, again he's doing the maths for me, 100 billion times $7. Is there 100 billion supply? Oh yeah, there it's there. Right, so calculator out. I could get a calculator on screen, but my phone is in my hand now, so let me try and get 100 billion on my phone. That looks about, oh my god, another 3. Right, there we go. My phone doesn't even allow me to do it. Right, someone do the quick maths. 100 billion times $7. And I know what the answer is, but let's get the chat going. Someone answer that. 100 billion times $7. Give me the answer, someone. Someone that answers quick will get a prize. So drop a comment below. David said, any idea what caused Genzo to pump and dump today? Nah, I mean, there wasn't really anything news coming out today in particular. There is news coming very soon, but I don't know what it is exactly. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the cause was. Great to see, of course. There we go, Neil, you've won a prize. Congratulations, thank you very much. The prize is the congratulations that you've just received. So $700 billion would be the market cap for XRP if it was at $7. Quick maths. Yeah, Genzo, I don't know why it came up and why it came back down again. Let me just look at the price actually. What's it looking like just now? Genzo Kishi. Let's see. 78. Yeah, what did it get to? Like 86, something like that. Still, I mean, it's not exactly dumped exactly. It's still up. It's still up quite a bit. It's still up 7, nearly 8% on the day. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But we do know that there's some news coming very soon on Genzo, so that'll be exciting. Expecting more, hopefully more than just a 10% pump that we've seen today. Right, back to where I was. Where was I? Yes, Hype Beast, get in the chat. Balenciaga to accept Bitcoin, crypto as payment. Very exciting. Balenciaga, a luxury fashion house, will begin accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as a payment online and in select physical locations. Balenciaga, a Kering-owned luxury fashion house, will begin accepting Bitcoin. I've literally just said that. First, the flagship stores located in the US and Balenciaga's website will trial the new payment feature, with further rollouts expected at later dates. Balenciaga is the second member of the Kering luxury group to accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as payment, following the brand Gucci. So, for all y'all that made that sweet profit in the kind of recent bull cycle, shall we say, you're in luck. It's now time to flex and buy some Balenciaga and some Gucci with that profit. It won't be me personally, but I guess I wanted to cover this because it's obviously a big brand. It's a huge brand. The past 2 years, I'd say Balenciaga has had a huge come up. Obviously, I recognise that Balenciaga has been around for longer than that, but the past 2 years, it's really got caught on with your hype, shall we say? Not your hype beasts, because they still like kind of Supreme and stuff, but definitely it's been more hyped over the past 2 years, and so is Gucci as well. Actually, like it's always been. I mean, Gucci's probably a bit earlier, but the past maybe 4 years in Gucci, they've really ramped up the street style and stuff, and the more kind of out there stuff. And again, the fact that they're accepting crypto just shows that they're a little bit ahead of the curve, ahead of other brands, shall we say. And I'm sure the rich of crypto will love this, that they can spend profits in Balenciaga. Oh, wait a minute, hang on, I've just seen the chat's gone mad. Because we're talking about pounds rather than dollars. Alright, jeez. Wow. See, who was it that asked that question? Mark, see what you've caused? You've caused an absolute uproar. So, Neil had said 700 billion pounds, but we were speaking in dollars. But he did put, I think, after it, so I guess that kind of covers him. Lol, it's literally 7 times 100. Exactly, that's what I was trying to get at. I knew the answer, but I just wanted the chat to get some hype. Did you see JP Morgan mentioning that they preferred crypto and BTC as their preferred alternative asset class? Yes, I did. JP Morgan speak a lot, though. They like to be kept relatively in the news. So yes, it's good news though. It's positive. I didn't open. I seen it earlier, but I didn't bring it up to cover because JP Morgan have been going back and forward with crypto for a long time. £700 billion would be more like $700 billion though. £556 billion. Right, there's too much that there's too many numbers now. Anyway, the market cap would be a lot more than what it is at the moment, but we're focused on the price of each individual XRP. So, right, sorry I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but hopefully you are following along and enjoying. Still got so much. This was supposed to be a short one as well, but the hype has been real in the chat. So, moving on to Bloomberg UK. So Lagarde says crypto is worth nothing and should be regulated. It's funny this here, because this little subheading, the digital euro will be safe for store of pardon me, let me try that again. The digital euro will be safe for store of value, the ECB, so the European Central Bank president says. Funny that, isn't it? Because the European Central Bank will have control over this, but they won't have control over this. So it's funny that she's saying it's worth nothing when she has no control, but she says what she has control over will be a safer store of value. Interesting. Okay, so European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said cryptocurrencies are based on nothing and should be regulated to steer people away from speculating on them with their life savings. Lagarde told Dutch television that she's concerned about people who have no understanding of the risks, who will lose it all, and who will be terribly disappointed, which is why I believe that it should be regulated. The comments come from amid choppy times for crypto markets. Are you just paying attention, by the way? I can see you all chatting in the chat. I hope you are paying attention to this live stream. Stop chatting and pay attention. I can see it at the corner of my eyes. So I'll read that again. The comments come amid choppy times for the crypto markets, with digital currencies like Bitcoin and Ether down 50% from last year's peak. At the same time, the asset class is facing tougher scrutiny from regulators worried about the dangers it may pose to the broader financial system. Lagarde said she's sceptical about crypto's value, of course she is, contrasting it with the ECB's digital euro, a project that may come to fruition in the next 4 years. To quote the lady, "My very humble assessment is that it's worth nothing. It is based on nothing, and there is no underlying asset to act as an anchor of safety." What a very humble assessment to make from someone that works for the European Central Bank, who also works for the European government and wants to push the digital dollar and CBDCs. And when will people learn? I really hope that people that watch this type of stuff and read this type of news article don't actually believe it, because I'm not going to make it, is what I say to that, because it's fugazi, it's nonsense. She's obviously going to, like I said at the start, she's obviously going to push something that she can control and that the governments can control over something that the governments can't control. So she's obviously going to say that crypto is worth nothing, and she's obviously going to say that the digital euro is a store of value. So who do you trust? Do you trust someone like me, some crazy guy on the internet, or do you trust a digital banker or European Central Bank banker? She's not a digital banker, she's a real life banker, or a real life beep, should we say, bad word. So the day when we have central bank digital currencies out, any digital euro, I will guarantee so that the central bank will be behind it, and I think that it's vastly different than many of those things. So this is even just saying she will guarantee that the digital euro will be better. Other ECB officials have already voiced their concerns. One is the executive board member Fabio Panetta, who said in April that crypto assets are creating a new Wild West and drew parallels to the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis. Don't know if I agree with that, Fabio, unfortunately. But yeah, look, each to their own. Lagarde said that she doesn't hold any crypto assets herself because I want to practice what I preach. Have fun staying poor. But she follows them very carefully, as one of her sons is invested against her advice. He's a free man, she said. So she's not going to make it, and by the looks of it, her son is going to make it. Very much like, what's that gold bug? Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is very much like Lagarde in terms of how he sees crypto, and then Peter Schiff's son is very much like Lagarde's son, where he's pro-crypto and done very well over the past 2 years, whereas gold didn't. Sounds like she's talking about the euro. Fiat is literally backed by nothing. Exactly, Neil. But the issue is, we know that because we're tuned in and we're switched on and we're going to make it, to say the least. But the people that read this, the minions that read this stuff from, because it's termed like the European Central Bank and it's the government and it's this person of power and it's on the news and it's in news articles, then the normies will read this and they'll eat it up. They don't know any different. So yeah, I agree, Fiat is literally backed by nothing. And but look, we're going to make it. We're in crypto, we know what we're talking about. These people, unfortunately, I would like to say. Right, let's move on. This is actually, let me come back to this one actually. Let me come back to that. Let me show you this fun picture of Jeff Bezos. It's not quite crypto related, but well, yeah, kinda is crypto related. Quite a funny post he posted. I think it was today, he tweeted it, or yesterday. Oh no, it was last week. Jeez, I'm absolutely talking rubbish. Right, so Jeff Bezos, man like Jeff. I have this old 2006 Business Week framed as a reminder. The risky bet that Wall Street disliked was AWS, which generated revenue of more than $62 billion last year. So this was posted, like I said, 2006, where it says, Amazon's risky bet. CEO Jeff Bezos wants to run your business with his web technology. Wall Street wishes he would just mind the store. Now look at Jeff Bezos, almost 20 years later, 15 years later. So quite funny, and the reason I'm kind of relating this back to crypto is like, people are not involved in crypto, or the news articles that are talking badly of crypto, saying it's not going to go anywhere, it's trash, it's for criminals, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. It's very similar to this, and I'm sure many people have a lot of screenshots of, one coming back up from the chat, JP Morgan, they used to speak very poorly of crypto, but now they're speaking very highly of crypto. So very much a lot of things change, much like they have done with big businesses like Amazon, and Amazon's now, well, what, $1 trillion company, one of the largest, it's the largest kind of in its game. And I just thought this tweet's quite funny, and how we can relate it back to crypto and how we're going to make it. Nice Barnett, Jeff. He's done well. People say money doesn't change the man, but I mean, look at him in that. I mean, don't get me wrong, 2006, things were different. He was probably in his prime back then, but even just now, let's look at his display picture now. There he is, look at that, big handsome Jeff. He's been on it, just cash. When you look at this picture, you just think cash. This man's worth so much money, but compare it to his previous, then he's looking a bit rough. What's next? Speaking of looking rough, the SEC's Gensler uses crypto oversight needs as case for a higher budget. The SEC chairman, so we all hate this man, Gary Gensler, told the US House budget appropriators that he'd like to be doing more to protect crypto investors. What a horrible looking man. So Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, made a pitch for a higher budget on Wednesday, telling lawmakers in the US House of Representatives that he wants to do more as a cop on the cryptocurrency beat. Gensler, in testimony before members of House of Appropriations Committee, a lot of big words here, said, "I wish we had more to be able to dedicate to this." He cited from the recent firestorm that consumed Terra USD, so the UST, as an example of the industry's investor protection need, telling lawmakers there was one crypto complex that went from $50 billion in value to zero in the last 3 weeks. This was always going to happen, like, whether it was him bringing it up or whether it was just the government in general, they were of course going to use this UST thing and absolutely run with it. And I mean, there's some speculation out there and some conspiracy that this was all part of the plan. This was meant to be done. It was an inside job by the government, blah, 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 saying that they're trying to push the CBDC, they're trying to push regulation, and they wanted UST to kind of fail and whatnot. So, look, speculation's fun. It's what we pretty much do for a living in crypto. But is it possible? Because they've got their own way. They're starting to now use this in the House of Appropriations, or the House of Representatives, or whatever the word was above it. They're starting to use this information against us, sort of. So he explained in his 1,300 person enforcement division has a little more than 50 people concentrating on this space, after recently adding another 20. That still leaves the agency outgunned on crypto cases, arguing that the public is not protected. Again, I have strong opinions on Gary Gensler, but I'll try and keep them to myself. He granted on Wednesday, so this was a few weeks ago, that Bitcoin is one of the very small number of likely commodity tokens that belong under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's lens, but the vast majority belong under the SEC's jurisdiction, and any exchange that handles trading in even one of them should register with us as a national exchange. We've actually said publicly that we've talked with many of these exchanges one-on-one. Come in, he said, work with us. The problem with that is most people in crypto are against centralization and against the government and against working with these parties. So just because the government are approaching them and saying come and work with us doesn't mean that they're going to just be like, all right, okay, that's cool, let's work with you because you've served us so well in the past, let's get crypto involved more in the government. It's mad, honestly. Meanwhile, he said the SEC will conduct a robust enforcement effort, as he also called out crypto firms for the vulnerability to hackers and the practice of making investment bets against their customers. I've had enough. I've had enough of Gary Gensler and reading about Gary Gensler. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up. An interesting looking human, speaking about some interesting topics, and of course bringing up the UST scandal and trying to use that against the market. Save me, Gary. Hashtag save me, Gary. Let's get it trending. Hashtag save me, Gary, because we can trust this man. Oh, where is he? We can trust this man here, who's the head of the Securities Commission in America, the US Gov, basically, to save us and mean that we're going to make it. This man right here. This man right here. We're going to make it. Save us, Gary. This was just a bit of a snippet from that article, but Tom Emmer, who's congressman in Minnesota, I believe, Minnesota, you put all of the SEC's taxpayers' funded resources into crypto crackdowns. Now you don't have the funds to do your actual job, so you're coming to Congress for more. And it's true, like the Ripple case is obviously like the most recent one, but there have been a few in the past. But yeah, he's not very well liked across the board. This part, before I move on to the last part, quick update from the Flare network, because I know a few people, I think someone actually emailed over today asking about Flare. So Flare then, they have got a full kind of rollout, but this tweet pretty much covers what I wanted to explain. But the roadmap has been updated, the code audit has begun. So starting today, which I don't think was today, it was last week. So starting last week, the Flare enters the audit phase of Trial of Bits, one of the most reputable firms in the space. This will run for several weeks, and provided no issues are found, Flare can launch on July 4th. So, just over a month away, hopefully we'll see Flare actually launch and see it do what it's supposed to be doing. But yeah, so Flare, Songbird, it's all stuff from the XRP snapshot from nearly, a year and a half ago? Yeah, so finally we're starting to see some progress, and they have says it can launch on July 4th. Don't know much more on that. We'll kind of cover that as we need to when the future, or July 4th, running about that, or if we have more information on it. But for anyone that's asking, then yeah, that's the kind of latest we have. Now, one thing I said I would come back to is this. So the reason I'm going to cover this is it's because I've seen someone on Facebook message asking about SwissBorg and CHSB and whatnot, and most people in this chat as well might be interested in this, and reasons why I believe that SwissBorg and CHSB have a bright future. When it comes to bringing mass adoption, there are two of the key factors in my opinion: technology and a user-friendly approach. We're massive on this, and that's why we've always pushed people using SwissBorg. And yeah, it's because it's the most user-friendly app and platform to use. So let me just go over. I think there's like 10 points here, and hopefully you agree. Number one, I can't imagine a crypto adoption without simplicity. And this is why I think SwissBorg is very well positioned to play a key role in the future. First of all, let's dive in a little bit more. So the technology. The Wealth app is one of the simplest and smoothest apps that you'll ever use. Again, tell me I'm wrong. Smart Engine allows you to buy assets at the best price because it combines multiple exchanges and you don't have to do infinite steps. Again, one of the main reasons we've pushed using the SwissBorg app for years. Smart Send, which is a relatively new feature, gives the possibility to users to send any type of asset in the platform to another SwissBorg user at zero cost and almost instantly. So again, that kind of user to user, quick moving of funds. It's almost like if you had like a Monzo account or an RBS account or whatever, and you're sending your mate money. Very much the same. It's the exact same process in the app, and yeah, it doesn't cost anything. So, number 4. Thematics are one of the next on the product to be released. Something very unique, a sort of an ETF related to crypto. Again, we touched on this a few months back when they first mentioned it. The product will allow users to get exposure to different sectors by getting a crypto bundle, so that they don't have to buy assets individually. So this will be huge in our opinion. Again, more on that when it comes, but another reason why we love it so much. Custom DeFi. So another product to be released that I think is a game changer. Imagine how difficult it is for the average person to get into DeFi. Swapping from chain to chain, platform to platform, with all those issues related like having a proper wallet or understanding DeFi. So Custom DeFi will sort that. By using Custom DeFi, you'll be able to choose different percentages of yields depending on your risk appetite in just a few steps. This is an incredible feature, which I do agree, and it allows everyone to get involved in DeFi, not just the crypto people, because DeFi is a buzzword, I feel, the past kind of 2 years because of, same with NFT, a bit of a buzzword, but no one really knew, well, we knew it was decentralized finance, but no one really seemed to know exactly what it meant or how to get involved or what platform to use or what wallet to use. So yeah, SwissBorg is bringing that feature, which will be very, very useful in my opinion. I briefly know enough to get by and to, if someone was to ask, but it just makes sense having it on the one platform like SwissBorg. The community. So the SwissBorg community is one of the best I have ever seen, and I'm in crypto since a long time. Good times, bad times, it doesn't matter. They're always positive and ready to help, in which I can again back 100%. For everyone that watches the weekly powwows with Cyrus, you'll see the hype is always there. We've now been to 2 in-person events with SwissBorg down in London, which you would have seen from our latest video on our YouTube channel. We were down 2 weeks ago. Again, the community is great. Everyone's positive. As much as the market wasn't doing that great, the buzz is still there because everyone's chatting about crypto, and same as their Twitter, their Instagram, whatnot. Yeah, I do agree there. Regulations is quite a big one actually. So we are currently facing more and more pressing eyes of the regulators on the crypto space. Many projects will not be here in years to come. SwissBorg is fully regulated with PSAN certificate. I'm actually going to read this because people might not know what it is. So what is PSAN or PSAN? So it stands for, well, I'm not going to read that because it's French, but you can see it. If you are French, please by all means read that to yourself. Or Digital Asset Service Provider in English. Only registered digital asset service providers, or PSANs, are authorised to offer services relating to crypto assets in France. including the services of custody of digital assets on behalf of a client, buying or selling digital assets for legal tender, and exchanging digital assets for other digital assets. So it's like regulation. So they've got regulation in France, which is huge. Obviously, there's SwissBorg is Switzerland based, but they speak French, obviously. Swiss people speak French. And yeah, they've got the French approval, which is huge. Next is marketing. It is pointless to have a great product, but not promoting it. You'll never succeed. As you can see, they're pushing hard to promote the app and onboard as many users as possible. So this is a Swiss newspaper, and then this is a train station, I believe. They're also in the airports as well in Geneva. You'll see huge big SwissBorg billboards, and across the cities as well in Switzerland you'll see huge billboards. So they are going hard on marketing. Most people in the UK know them as well, but obviously they are a Swiss-based exchange, shall we say. So the marketing definitely is cranked up more over there. Number 10 then, growth of the team. It's easy to see positive things in a bull market, but it's in the bear market that you see if a project is pushing or just talking. SwissBorg is constantly hiring new talent and people which represent the growth of the company. Security. We are seeing a tremendous domino of hacks and security issues. SwissBorg uses MPC technology and a patent chip isolation to secure private keys. In fact, contrary of most of the exchanges, it gives you the possibility to generate your own private keys. Number 12, giving access to the crypto world to everyone in the easiest way possible is what we need to boost adoption. Making crypto easy and not something hard for nerds to use, so nerds like ourselves. Any project that survives a bear market without sacrificing development is worth investing in. And then this one here is why I'm bullish on this. This is the MPC stuff, which again, MPC is keyless technology. You've got multiple fiat gateways, hourly asset analysis, the smart yield, smart engine, CHSB rewards program, portfolio analytics. So these are just some of the things that the SwissBorg Wealth app does. This SwissBorg reward program, if anyone watching this doesn't, for whatever reason, does not have a SwissBorg account, if you scroll down to the link in our bio, or link in this video, shall we say, you'll see a link to SwissBorg. Click that link, put in your phone number and sign up to the app. The reason I'm saying do that is because there's a chance for you to get between €1 and €100 for free in SwissBorg token after you deposit into the SwissBorg app. So scroll down, click it, phone number in, get the app, and thank us later. But yeah, that was the kind of last part I wanted to cover. It was a big part on SwissBorg, and I feel like it was a long time coming. We've covered this many times, bits and bobs, and why we like it, what it does, and why we believe the project is so secure, and why we will solely use SwissBorg as our main exchange. We do push it a lot, but there's good reason for that, and hopefully some of what I've covered gives you that, well, reason to believe why we speak about it so highly and so much. So please do make sure you scroll down, use our affiliate link below, get between €1 and €100 for free, simply for clicking that link. So there's no cost to you, but there's a chance that you can win, or not, yeah, I guess it's called winning, isn't it? It's a bit of a prize draw, and some CHSB token. So great news. Okay, that's all for me. Let me just bring back up the page. Just to recap then, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, after this video ends, click the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, make sure that you like this video as well, please. It would be very, very much appreciated. And of course, check out our other videos. We have quite a few on the channel now, quite a few live streams. Check out our Plutus debit card. That is our go-to debit card when it comes to crypto. Check out our Genzo Kishi project. I've already mentioned that in tonight's live, but we did do a video on that, how we turned $1,000 into $84,000 in 10 days. And of course, the recent video, a day in the life of a crypto investor in 2022. So go check it out. It is on our YouTube channel now. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more. Hopefully you've enjoyed the chat. Please do come back for more live videos over the coming weeks. And for anyone that is a member, we do have our live stream coming out tomorrow with Asim regarding some technical things and some trading side of things. So please make sure that you've got your notifications turned on for Discord. Do not miss that. For anyone that's wanting to get in contact, anyone wants to follow us, wants to understand what we're doing, check out our website. Even for now, ccgla.co.uk. Everything you need is in the box at the top. Other than that, Instagram followers, we have some interesting news coming soon. I'll leave you with that. Stay tuned to the Instagram page. We are coming with some very, very exciting updates over the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Follow us, crypto.glasgow for now on Instagram. Everywhere else, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, get us there. Follow us, subscribe. I'm going on too much now. But yeah, no, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I will speak to you all soon. And yeah, have a good night. Take care.